right, so the silence is killing me. So I think what we're going to do, let me go over a couple ground rules. First, let me say good morning to everyone that's joined us, and for everyone that will be joining us and may be watching this later. My name is Robert Moore. I'm the Director of Economic Development here in the city of Portsmouth, and want to welcome everyone to another edition, and the March edition of Let's Talk Business. I can't believe that it's already March. In 2021. Just literally seemed like it was just Christmas, and maybe it was. Again, welcome everyone this morning. Got an exciting topic to talk about this morning, but before we get started, a couple ground rules. If everyone could mute themselves, so that way, we don't have any feedback and everyone can hear clearly. Also, keep in mind this is being recorded. And once this is done later on today, the link will be up. We'll send it out via LinkedIn. Certainly it'll be on YouTube and on our website at accessportsmouthva.com. Because of the number of people we anticipate being on the call this morning, if you have a question, instead of raising your hand and things of that nature, if you could put it in the chat, and that'll be easier for me to see so we can ask for audience questions later. And I think the big thing is get your questions ready because, again, we've got a dynamic panel and discussion this morning. Just a small project that we've been working on for 2 years now, myself, 3 years now. Senator has been working on for about 25 years, is our brand new casino and entertainment district. And with us this morning, we have some of our partners. And let me refresh everyone's memory. Rivers Casino Portsmouth is our partner here in Portsmouth, and we're so excited to have them partner with us on this new venture for the Commonwealth and specifically for Portsmouth. And with us this morning, we have Mr. Brett Schweiker and Ms. Delceno Miles. And I'm not going to steal their thunder and introduce them, but they are key components to what we're doing here in Portsmouth and how we're pushing the narrative and going forward with this project. So first, I want to say welcome to them. And if I could, starting with Brett, matter of fact, let me back up. I apologize. Ladies first. If Ms. Delceno Miles could introduce herself and kind of tell us your role in this project.
Thank you. Happy Women's History Month, everyone. Good morning. I'm Delceno Miles. I am the President and CEO of the Miles Agency. We are a full-service marketing, PR firm, community engagement firm, and we've been in business 32 years. Yes, I started as a child prodigy, just in case you're trying to count the years. But I am privileged to have been the first hire by Rush Street Gaming to lead the public relations and community engagement, and we've hit the ground running. So my first official day was December 1st, and we've been really have a robust community engagement effort. So happy to talk about that, but really a privilege. I've done quite a bit of work in the city of Portsmouth over the years. My very first project with you all was the beginning of launching the Umoja Festival. So that was my first opportunity to partner with the city, and have done multiple projects since then. Matter of fact, we're working with you now on the joint land use study. So we've had a recent virtual town hall with that, and we've worked with the comp plan update. So very familiar with the city and many of the influencers there. So it's an honor and privilege to continue the partnership and relationships that I have in the city. So thank you for this opportunity.
Great. Thank you. And Mr. Brett Schweiker, could you introduce yourself and, again, your role in the project?
Of course. Good morning, Robert. Good morning, everybody. Nice to see you all this morning, bright and early. I was teasing Robert earlier. This isn't as early as the official EDA proceeding. So we're bright, we're chipper, we're ready to go. I would just say I'm the Director of Public Affairs and Government Relations at Rush Street. The good news is here, as I guess we're approaching a year since the legislature passed the casino legislation last year, which I was a part of in Richmond. But at this point, having spent a lot of time in Portsmouth, I'm starting to recognize a lot of the names and faces. Some I do on here as well. So that's exciting. I feel like we're finally becoming a part of this community from the ground up and meeting folks. And a part of my job as public affairs and government relations director of the state is to interface with legislators and their staffs, regulators, as well as local elected officials like those in Portsmouth, and really create strong relationships, because when you're building a casino, you're in it for the long term. It's a decades commitment that you're making, not only to the city, which we cherish, but also to the region as well. And I know some of you come from Portsmouth, some of you come from Suffolk, Chesapeake, Virginia Beach, and other communities nearby, and we're getting to know you and the communities very, very well. I spent a lot of time in Portsmouth during the summer months and campaign, which was ultimately successful. We reached a 66% victory threshold. The citizens of Portsmouth supported the project, which was very, very humbling and also very, very welcoming. So it's been a great year. I think Virginia continues to be a great place to do business. CNBC in 2019 ranked it the #1 most attractive and inviting place to do business. And I think in the next decade, it's going to continue with great leadership and great places like Hampton Roads in Portsmouth to do business. So we could not be more excited to be a part of the future of Portsmouth and Hampton Roads. And it's great to be with you all this morning. Thanks so much.
Great, Brett, and I appreciate it. And shameless plug, while Virginia is the best state to do business, Portsmouth is certainly the smart move for business, as you can see behind me. I literally get paid for that. So Brett, starting with you, kind of talking about, you started to allude to the project a little bit. Tell us about the project. Tell us about Rivers Casino Portsmouth and kind of where we are in the development process.
Sure. Well, where we are in the development process, just to level set everybody, this started really over 25 years ago. Portsmouth's own Senator Louise Lucas saw what clearly, I think, saw what was coming. I think, where I'm from in Pennsylvania, the slots game and casino game took off in 2004, and a lot of other mid-Atlantic states took off around the same time. New York joined the fray later, and ultimately that kind of hurt the ability for Atlantic City to compete there for a while, and eventually gaming kind of exploded in the last decade. But even before that, in the 90s, Senator Lucas knew it was coming and thought Virginia should get into the game. Fast forward to 2019, Virginia legislature passed the first casino legalization bill, and in 2020 passed the enabling legislation with the tax rate and all the other things that go along with that. And so that's kind of where we are today. The vision started from somebody in Portsmouth, and I think we give her a ton of credit for that, because not only did she ensure that Hampton Roads got a casino or two, other I think previously overlooked localities in Virginia, Danville, Bristol, Richmond, got the opportunity, instead of some of the other communities around the state, got the opportunity to land a casino if their citizens so chose, and they all did by overwhelming margins. So really, what this is certainly there's an entertainment piece to it. People like to gamble, people like to play slots, people like to hang out with each other at the tables, they like to come to our restaurants, they love to come to see the shows and gather. Our casino here in Chicago, even during the pandemic and with population controls inside our facility and all the plexiglass and all the mask mandates, we're still doing very, very well, because people are looking for fun options and fun outlets. But in addition to that, I think what Senator Lucas and some of her colleagues in the legislature saw is that these facilities and these properties can be even more than just gambling destinations. And they are. You go to Las Vegas, there's a lot more to do than just gamble. And so for a place like Portsmouth, like Danville, like Bristol, and communities like that, these are supposed to be economic drivers that hire plenty of employees, a couple thousand at a property, and they generate significant tax revenue for the local municipality. And for our part in Portsmouth, the city can count on $16 million a year in tax revenue from this facility. And in addition to that, there's something for everybody. like I said, like I alluded to with the Vegas example, if you don't like to gamble, you can still come to the casino. We're going to have 4 restaurants at our casino with different cuisines, and some of the restaurant eatery concepts that we adopt will probably be ones that you all are familiar with from the Hampton Roads region. We've done that at our other properties. Where you take a like a Geno's cheesesteaks in Philadelphia and put it in our Rivers Philadelphia casino property, or Hugo Frogs here in Chicago at some of our other properties as well. And I think that you're going to see that continue. So really what this is it's an economic driver. It creates significant employment opportunities, improves the tax base greatly, and also serves really as an anchor, which we're going to talk about here going forward, the whole Victory Village, Victory Boulevard concept. This is going to be the anchor for that, and we're very confident that it'll spur between us and TCC on that property will spur lots of economic growth and other things, retail perhaps, whatever the city decides they want to do, will probably come to that area because of the presence of the casino.
Great. Appreciate that answer. Delceno, on your side, because you're on a kind of a different side of this, of the development process. As the local lead for community engagement, as you kind of talked about yourself, how do you see the community kind of getting involved in this project?
They're already involved. Quite frankly, we've gone out and talked to faith-based community business leaders, elected officials, civic leagues, and there's more than just a curiosity. There really is, just from the vote that Brett mentioned, over 66% of the electorate want this. And we're thankful for that support. And so we're circling back and making sure that everyone is aware of what we're doing as we wait for approvals from the lottery, that we're not sitting idle, that we've had a job fair even before the election. We had significant presence there. And we just recently, I think many on this call may have participated, had a virtual vendor fair. And we had over 850 participants there. As we seek to not only for those who are in the construction piece, but we're also, our website is up and running, looking for those who are interested in being vendors. And so we have a strong commitment to supplier diversity, to diversity and inclusion when it comes to vendors, equity when it comes to hiring. You'll find that the DNA of Rush Street is certainly diversity, just in the various, and Brett can speak to the numbers, whether it's Philadelphia, or upstate New York, or Pittsburgh, or Chicago, that there's that piece to be a true community partner, whether that is supporting as a sponsor or holding job fairs, the vendor fair. We're actually going to be planning another job fair here soon in the spring, and so more to come on that. We've already reached out to TCC, a tremendous partner when it comes to the skilled trades as well as education. Obviously, casino is new to Virginia, certainly new to Portsmouth, and so we're not going to have those who have the dealer experience and that sort of quote-unquote casino experience. So we're going to be prepared to upskill them by partnering with institutions like TCC, who's our next-door neighbor right there off of Victory Boulevard. So there are multiple ways for the community to engage, to share their input, to become a partner in terms of whether you're an employee and all at every level, whether it's, and we're looking for, you have to be 21, and 21 and older, for job opportunities, management opportunities. But more importantly, looking at the bigger picture here, Robert, is that this is, as Brett alluded to, it's a destination. This extends the tourism season. I'm wearing my tourism hat now. I'm a tourism girl, where it's more than just between Memorial Day and Labor Day. This is a year-long destination opportunity for Portsmouth and for the 757, and for Southeastern Virginia for that matter. And I'm happy to be a part of this. And Portsmouth is really taking the leadership role here. You can be the first one out of the box, if you will, to create that destination where it's the entertainment center. Casino is almost a misnomer because it's so much more than that. It's an amenity for entertainment. We're going to have venues for entertainment, for live entertainment, for special events, whether it's a wedding, whether it's a business event, those kinds of things. So this really helps you to extend your tourism season to make it year long. And I think that's an important point to emphasize, that this is more than just a casino. It's really a catalyst for more investment in that particular part of Portsmouth, but certainly well positions Portsmouth to be a leader when it comes to tourism and extending that and giving our visitors. So it's for the citizens of Portsmouth, it's for the citizens of Hampton Roads, but it's also for our visitors who come. And we're not just going to restrict them to just between Memorial Day and Labor Day. We want them to come all year long.
Gotcha. That's a great answer, and I appreciate that. For everyone that's kind of getting on new and jumping on, let me say good morning. Certainly, we're going to have some time at the end of this for audience questions. We would ask that the questions be placed in the chat, so we can have those questions for later. As well, some of the websites and things that we're talking about, Rivers Casino Portsmouth, that website and our website, they will all be in the chat as well. So you'll be able to get that information there as we're talking about it. Brett, kind of building upon what Delceno was just talking about, there's going to be more, as you stated, than just a casino. You've already talked about the restaurants. We're talking about hotel. Sports betting is already live and set. Kind of trying to walk us through, what this looks like as an overall district. Some other things that we can expect, as part of this Rivers Casino Portsmouth project.
In addition to sports betting, or do you want me to kind of lay out for the group what we bring to the table there?
A little bit of both, if you can.
Yeah. On sports betting, there are a number of national casino brands that I think most folks are aware with. Your MGMs, your Caesars, Sands, Penn National, things like that. Mohegan Sun, right? And we're one of them. And I think that you'd be hard pressed to find someone that has had the kind of success in the online space among all the casinos, and has done a great job as we have in rolling that out. We're number one currently in internet casino in the United States, and we're also right in the mix there at the top with sports betting online. And for those of you that are tuning in from Virginia, which I believe is all of you, we recently launched our Bet Rivers online sports betting solution about a month ago, and are doing very, very well with it. Virginia is going to be a great market. There's plenty of population and plenty of people with that love sports. So, but inside the casino, we're going to have a retail sports book with plenty of places to gather and eat, and large televisions, and the typical Vegas style experience that anybody has seen when they're out there. And it's going to be inviting. It's going to be a lot of fun, and we're very, very good at it. We're number one in retail sports betting in New York State. We're number one in retail sports betting in Illinois, and both our Pittsburgh and Philadelphia properties do exceptionally well. So I think that that will continue in Virginia. But in addition to that, so I think the spirit of Robert's question kind of gets to, if you're not there to, play the slots, if you're not there to spend some time at our table games, what's in it for you? And I think, certainly retail sports betting is up there. It's certainly for a younger demographic. I think that our event center is second to none. The way we construct it, the way it's going to be positioned here at the property, I think that the old stereotype is that these casinos are just slots in a box. They're smoke-filled, rooms that you never could see the light of day. They're never improved, and they just become mothballs over generations. And we're the exact opposite of that. If you Google Rivers Casino Pittsburgh, for instance, you will be very impressed at what we've put together. Certainly, if you see our renderings that have been bandied about in the media in Hampton Roads, you're going to see that we're bringing quite a facility. And I think that when you're in something like the event center, whether it's for a wedding or a banquet or whatever it is, the way it's kind of positioned, looking west, you're going to see great sunsets and it kind of really adds more of a great ambiance to the experience, to the point where I'm quite confident you'll forget you're even in a casino because of the elite level construction and build out that the facility will be. And I think it's going to really enhance, well, more than enhance, an area of the city that I think has been overlooked of late. So way more than a retail sports book, and we have experience doing all these different things, and I think you'll be very impressed.
Good. Thank you. Thank you. I'm gonna switch gears a little bit. One thing that we're focusing on uh, going forward in economic development is certainly workforce development, and I like to say talent development more than workforce development. Uh, with this opportunity and what Rivers is bringing to Portsmouth from the standpoint of the entire district, that's several, thousand jobs coming to our locality. I'm gonna start with you, Delceno, if I could. You know, where are we from a standpoint of, what is Rush Street's perspective and focus as they start to look to hire uh, and to take it a step further? How can residents get ready for these positions?
Well, as I had mentioned before, we're planning another job fair that's coming up, and we certainly are going to be partnering with the city to make sure that Portsmouth residents, as well as the greater Hampton Roads community, has opportunity to participate in that. It'll be a virtual event. We are planning to partner with Tidewater Community College, as well as the Hampton Roads Workforce Council, and just so happen to be on both boards. So so have a vested interest in making sure those respective organizations are teamed up with us. Of course, John Avery and his team at Hampton Roads Workforce Council, that's very much a part of their DNA. I see Ms. Bailey's on, so she knows that, that's what we do, and to make sure that that the residents have every opportunity to learn about job openings and what is the career paths and opportunities for them. Certainly talking to TCC, developing curricula or certifications and trainings. And I know, Brett, they have a dealer academy and those kinds of things that we can develop and partner alongside those, as you put it, talent and workforce development agencies. So we're definitely not working in silos. We are partnering with resources like TCC, like the city of Portsmouth in your talented team, as well as the other higher education that are interested. I was just contacted the other day by someone from Norfolk State who they are in the process of developing some curriculum that will be to address filling that pipeline, if you will, for the casino and all the jobs that it brings, not just the temporary construction jobs, but the permanent jobs. So you're talking over a couple thousand jobs that we're offering for, and we do have a Portsmouth first approach. We understand that we're going to be your newest Portsmouth residents, corporate residents, and so we're taking that very, very seriously. So we really will take a look at that. So we encourage those who are in Portsmouth to apply for those jobs when those opportunities become available. Please attend the job fair. We're going to promote that heavily. So certainly, Robert, you and your team did a great job in helping us to promote the vendor fair. That's why it was so successful, because of those partnerships. We also partnered with the state agency, the Small Business and Supply Diversity Agency, for those who need their certification or need guidance, and or even some hand holding. I'm not afraid to say that for those, because we want to be fair. This isn't just for the big boys. It's for the smaller firms too, to give them an opportunity, a fair shot at being a part of this fascinating this project. So small businesses, minority, women-owned, veteran-owned, we encourage you to participate. And if you're not certified, don't let that be a barrier. That's why we have these agencies. This stuff is free. And so it's just a matter of a little bit of paperwork. So if you're not in witness protection, just go ahead and fill out the paperwork and be a part of this fascinating opportunity. I'm just so excited about this, because this is almost a once in a lifetime thing, where you have something over a $300 million project coming to our region that's creating thousands of jobs, and we're right here at the ground floor. And so I can't say it enough to to take advantage of it. Don't sit back. Don't be idle. And so, and I'll listen. And that's why Brett and I've been going out and talking to civic leagues, talking to pastors, talking to business owners, and anyone who has an interest in this project. I'm sort of on my soapbox here, but I'm passionate about making sure that small businesses really take advantage of this, and don't be intimidated by the numbers in terms of $300 million. Well, we have a very good partner, a general contractor, as you all know, is a joint venture between Yates Construction, a national firm, and local firm, 43-year-old local firm, SB Ballard Construction Company, who has over 43 years of experience and a phenomenal record of supplier diversity, that will be the general contractor to build this facility. And they're already hard at work behind the scenes identifying opportunities for the smaller firms to be a part of this amazing project. So I know that was a long-winded answer, but I just get excited. So just, mute me whenever you feel like I need to just shut up. But I just get excited about this stuff.
Yeah,
I would just add, Robert, if I could, to that answer. We're a highly regulated. I would just remind folks that we're a highly regulated space. Everything we do, in large part, has to go through the Virginia Lottery, which we welcome. We want that. It adds integrity and confidence to our industry when you have that kind of extensive regulatory environment, and we welcome that. Particularly when you have such a mad dash of prospective of job seekers and prospective employees to want to work there. Usually, when we go into a market, the amount of applicants far exceeds the number of job openings that we have, usually by a factor of almost 20 to 1. And if, like Delceno said, if you're over 21 years old, we want to hear from you. We not only is the property open for all folks, for all kinds of different people, and with what they like to do, with something for everybody. We also have in large part have job opportunities for almost anybody. We would love to hear from you. When we open, I'm originally from Philadelphia. When that facility opened in 2010, 35% of the workers there that were there had been previously unemployed right before they came to Rivers, Philadelphia. So we have a long history in developing employees and kind of ushering them through it, sort of on an upward trajectory at all 4 of our properties. And we're going to do the same in Portsmouth. So we could be more excited to do it.
Good. Well, we appreciate your enthusiasm, and we're excited as well. I will remind everyone, please, if you have questions, don't hesitate to put them in the chat so we can make sure we get those questions answered as best as possible. One thing, Brett, you and I were at the legislature together in 2019.
I was hoping you were going to say Foxhole.
Yeah, we were kind of there too. But 2019, 2020, we were in Richmond together. The one thing I can tell you that I was very excited about was the fact that there is that mandate and that push, if you will, for this to be as inclusive a project as possible, to make sure that there is not only minority participation from a standpoint of jobs and standpoint of contracting, but at the same time, also minority equity. And I know you all are working behind the scenes on that to meet the lottery's request on that. And we appreciate that. Can you tell me how that's going? I think Delceno really has touched on that, just kind of where we are, the outreach that you're doing to make sure you're meeting that aspirational goal.
We will meet it because we've done it before multiple times. And when that provision that championed by a number of legislators that you just brought up was raised in committee last January, we were enthusiastic supporters and welcomed it, and thank God, because I think given how diverse the Hampton Roads region is, the project will not be successful if not only if the employees and the ownership doesn't reflect the industry or the region. So we're continuing to go through that process, And if anybody wants to explore this opportunity, we welcome to talk with you. And I think that we've had no shortage of interest in folks that want to be a part of this project, and I think that we look forward to hearing from you if you do. And right now it's ongoing. But like I said, this concept of minority investment in the ownership of the property is something that that is a tradition of ours that goes back well over 10 years. We did not have to be instructed by any regulator or legislator to do this. Our Chicago casino in Des Plaines, Illinois, or our Des Plaines-based casino out here in Illinois, where I am, has a significant amount of minority investment in the project, and we were thrilled to do it. And I would just end by saying during the campaign, we ran on this very topic and saying that our property would have a significant minority investment component to it, and I think that people were receptive to it, and we look forward to meeting that goal.
Good. Appreciate that. And again, for everyone, all of this information as far as how you can connect to be potentially a vendor, participate from a contracting standpoint and so forth. We have that link in the chat, but I would also tell you that is Ms. Delceno Miles' responsibility as well. So please don't hesitate to reach out to her with any questions that you have regarding that.
Well, I would just add, by the way, if we're getting into that, anyone who's interested in putting their putting their name forth for minority investorship, our email address where you can email us is port.minorityinvestors, plural, @rushst.com. So that's port.minorityinvestors @Rush Street, RUASHST.com.
Yeah.
So we'd love to hear from you.
Yeah, if you put that in the chat, then that way everybody will have it too. And those who are interested in being vendors, it's port, P-O-R-T, vendors with an S @Rush, ST for rushstreet.com. For those interested in becoming vendors. And so we're very transparent and keep lines of communication open. And so, Robert, even those that have contacted you directly and that you forwarded to me, I jump right on it to follow up with those individuals and to make sure that they have timely information. And it's important to note that we're not mandated to do any of this. This is part of the DNA and the culture, is to make sure that we have a fair opportunity and that supply diversity, equity in hiring. It's the right thing to do, and it's not something that we sort of have to do. But I wouldn't be a part of this effort if I didn't feel it was the right thing to do, and that's something that I'm committed to making sure that we surpass the goal as much as at all possible. So it's aspirational, but I think we can overachieve.
Good. We appreciate that. And to touch on that a little bit more, one thing that I've noticed with Rush Street, certainly in our dealings with you all and visiting some of your facilities, there is a real push to give back to the community. Specifically in Philadelphia, Pittsburgh, I've seen it firsthand. Tell us about those opportunities and kind of community giving here in Portsmouth. Is that the plan? Like you said, I know it's typically in your DNA. Is that the plan here as well for Portsmouth?
Well, not only is it the plan, we've done it already, and we're gonna continue to do that. Look, when you're new to the neighborhood, you should show people who you really are, and I think that, and ideally, you have a track record in doing it, and that's just what we've done. Whether it's our Rivers Gives program, our involvement in Chicago Cares and things like that, but also our in Portsmouth, closer to home. We've supported the Children's Museum of Virginia already, which, if you walk down High Street, it's one of the nicest buildings there. We are proud to be a part of that, and proud to be shoulder to shoulder with them. And we've also supported the African American Historical Society of Portsmouth, and they do really, really important work and outreach there. So, yeah, not only is it a part of what we do in other markets. It's front and center with what we have done and what we are going to do in Portsmouth and in Hampton Roads. So that's the short answer is an emphatic yes, Robert. That's definitely a part of our DNA and a part of what we're going to do in Portsmouth going forward.
Good, good, good. I'm gonna step back to the jobs real quick. We're again creating over 1,300 jobs, permanent jobs, 1,400 construction jobs, roughly. Do we know yet any information about maybe the average pay? Kind of where that lies. And I know there's a range there because you got everything from the hospitality to the IT to the management type of style. But do you know yet where your numbers are as far as salaries could be just yet?
I think if you spoke with any industry expert, they would tell you that Rush Street Gaming and our properties are among the most competitive and by far and away the most fair, above the fair mark in the industry. And I think we're very proud of that. Look, every region is different, so there will be a wide range of salaries for a wide range of different things. But again, I think we will have no shortage of satisfied and excited and motivated workers and prospects in Hampton Roads. And so as we go forward, a lot of that will be made public. And if past is prologue, it will be a series of very attractive packages for folks up and down the pay scale.
Good, great. So we've got probably about maybe 5, maybe 10 more minutes of questions. So if everybody could, again, if you have a question, please put it in the chat. You all hopefully are seeing these as we share the screen here. You see the phenomenal pictures of this development and what will be happening along that Victory Boulevard corridor. From a standpoint of, this is right now, you go out to the site, it's trees, bunch of grass. Do we have a timeline yet on where we are, what we're looking at from a standpoint of this being built?
Yeah, if all continues to progress as we believe it will, I think that the lottery has been very transparent and proactive with us and the entire Virginia casino community in making sure that we get shovels in the ground as soon as we can. In order to make sure that we're opening our doors so that we're hiring folks and creating the economic improvements and vitality that we all want in these 4 regions across the state. Right now, I think what we're looking at is a late summer, early fall groundbreaking, and ultimately delivering this thing in the winter, November, December 2022, January 2023 timeframe. They're sort of a range here, but that's where I would say right now, based on present conditions. And I think that, just under 2 years, I think is what we're looking at as far as a delivery goes. And I think you'll start to see activity there toward the end of the summer. But we got to continue to work with the lottery on that. At the end of the day, it's their call and making sure that they're comfortable with what it is that not only what we're doing, but what Caesars is doing in Danville, what Hard Rock is doing in Bristol, and what the Pamunkeys are going to do in Norfolk. So I think that's kind of the broad time frame that you're looking at.
Good. So as part of that project, again, we've talked about several different aspects of the project. One question has come up with regards to the hotel. Do we know yet how many rooms potentially for the hotel?
Well, we know there's going to be a hotel. We know that, and we couldn't be more excited about that because it's going to look great in the end, as you see there on the screen. In terms of us conceptualizing it and determining the number of rooms and all that stuff, we're not quite there yet, but there will be a hotel. Again, couldn't be more excited about that. I think that it's going to look great, particularly when you're traveling, I guess, northeast-ish on 264. You'll see it kind of rise up out of the ground, right? And I think that it will certainly be eye-grabbing and imposing, and it'll be something that area has just not seen before, I think. And then when you get into kind of the aesthetic look of it and the overall look of it, I think is going to be very impressive. But in terms of raw numbers, we're just not there yet.
Okay. All right. I'll say one more time. We're almost about to wrap up here soon. So if you have any questions, please put them in the chat. We'll try to answer as many as we can, but certainly don't hold your questions to just today. If you have any questions of staff, if you have any questions of Delceno and her team, please don't hesitate to reach out to them and they will answer as many as they can. Again, we have the information as far as how you can reach out to them via the website at riverscasinoportsmouth.com. We have some specific email addresses in there. Let me say, from our standpoint, from an economic development standpoint, this is a significant project. I think that goes without saying. You're talking potentially $16.3 million in tax generation and revenue for the city. And to put that in perspective, that adds 7% to our local GDP. For the city of Portsmouth, okay? When you add the jobs, 1,200 permanent jobs, over 1,200 permanent full-time jobs, and when you start talking about 1,400 construction jobs, you're really talking about another 5% to our job number. So these are phenomenal opportunities for everyone, and I think that certainly as Delceno and Brett have stressed this morning, please reach out. You want to be a part of it. We want you to be a part of it. And the opportunities are there. And what a great time to be a part of this literally groundbreaking and game-changing project for the city of Portsmouth. And I've been so excited and happy to be a part of this as we've gone forward. The economic development team has worked very hard to make sure that we are adhering to all the necessary needs, but at the same time making sure that we are meeting the requests and requirements of the citizens. So again, I would ask everyone on this call, if you have any questions, comments, please don't hesitate to reach out. And again, this will be posted, this recording will be posted on our LinkedIn and on our social media and YouTube and all those different things. The last question I have for Delceno and Brett, it's kind of a loaded question, but you can feel free to answer. In all of your years working on projects, who is the best economic development team that you've worked with so far?
Is this the Jeopardy final question? Can we get some Jeopardy music there?
Final question.
Absolutely. This is the one. Yeah. Absolutely. It's transformational. I put that in the chat. This is a game changer in so many ways for the city, for the region. And again, I emphasize that this is more than a casino. This is a true destination to extend your tourism season, to certainly provide amenities through the taxes that will be generated. So that's even more investment that you all will have. Less of a tax burden on your citizens, quite frankly. So the more taxes collected from projects like this, that certainly benefits the city and the citizens that call Portsmouth home. And so I'm so proud to be a part of this. So this is absolutely the game-changing project that's needed for this. I hate to say shot in the arm because everybody's getting those vaccines, so I'll use another analogy. But this is a great opportunity for Portsmouth to be at the forefront when it comes to this type of development and investment in your city. So kudos to your team, Robert, for making this happen, and certainly to Senator Lucas, who sort of birthed this idea over 20-some years ago. So it's been a true team effort working with the city and your leadership. Thank you.
That was
just, I mean, and if Jessica were leading, it would be even better.
I'm all for girl power.
Checks in the mail, Brett. Checks in the mail.
Imagine where the organization would be under her.
Yeah, let's yeah, okay, yeah, I'll leave it at that. So no, listen, and that was more of a trick question. Look, we couldn't do this. People have heard me say this for years. Listen, everything we do is based off relationships. Okay, I've known Delceno for years. Brett, you and I have built a relationship over the last a couple years as we put this together. We couldn't make this project a success without our Economic Development Authority. I know I saw one of our commissioners, Ms. Sandra Smith, on the call as well. When we talk about tourism, not going to be able to push forward from a tourism standpoint if we don't have our relationship with our partner Keith Toller, Assistant Director over at Parks and Rec, who's on the call as well. This is all a team effort. But at the same time, the biggest part of this team is the community, the business community and the citizens. So I want to thank everyone for being here this morning. We did this in just under an hour, and that's you all's fault because you didn't ask any questions, but or as many questions as I thought you might. But that's fine. But anytime you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out to us. This is a project that's going to change a lot of things. I see Mr. Hillman on here. When we start talking about charging stations, things of that nature, I know that this will be a part of the project as well. It will be a modern, as green as possible type of facility. So, we got a lot that's riding on this and a lot that's going into this. And again, us all working together will make this successful. As Jessica is trying to get me to stop talking, the next Let's Talk Business is April the 2nd. That will be again at 10 a.m. The topic at this point, and this will be the time for our legislative update to make sure that you all understand what is going on in Portsmouth from a legislative standpoint. I know we're going to have some discussion about some what we like to call cleanup bills when it comes to casino legislation and how that will affect the project. We think that will make it mind as we go forward, but some other updates that we'll have. So please tune in with us on April the 2nd. I'm going to do last call for any questions. I'm not seeing.
I have a question.
Yes, sir.
I'll only tune into the April 2nd one if Jessica moderates.
Typically Jessica does moderate. So, she is a lot better at this than I am. I was
going to say the energy.
The energy, that's right. So, listen, this team, I will tell you, is the most dynamic team. So I'm going to end on that note. I am only here because of this team. All right. So again, I want to thank everyone for being on the call this morning. And again, this will be up on our social media and our YouTube, and we look forward to seeing everyone next month.